can't stop me.
I'm telling you fools that I got nothing left to lose. Broken and bruised, black and blue, still on the move. And I'm showing the world I still got a lot more to prove. Now I'm coming out swinging for your throat in the ring. Standing there bleeding, yeah, you know what I bring. You know what I mean? Dark when the bell is rung, cause it's a little too late now to tell me run.
Get up and run.
You're broken every part of me. I'm putting it up in down. I keep rising higher, higher, higher now. Don't fuck with me. Never gonna hold me down. I keep rising higher, higher, higher. The world can't stop me now. You see it's a calm before the storm. I was born for more, now you got me ready for war. Remember my name, everybody out of my way. Back up or get knocked out, this ain't a game. Cause I never stay down when they push me around. See the world stand up when they give me the crown. Now it's go time, do or die, dead or alive. You can try to kill me, but I will survive.
I will survive.
You're broken every part of me. I'm putting everything down. I keep rising higher, higher, higher now. Don't fuck with me. Never gonna hold me down. I keep rising higher, higher, higher. The world can't stop me now.
You can't stop me. Can't stop me. No, 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 you can't stop me.
I'm bloodied and I'm beaten down. I keep rising higher, 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 higher.
You're broken every part of me. I'm putting everything down. I keep rising higher, higher, higher now. Don't fuck with me. Never gonna hold me down. I keep rising higher, higher, higher. The world can't stop me now. Can't stop me, no, can't stop me.
What's up, all y'all trickly bastards, and welcome back to the Ale Fighters. As always, I am your host, Athen.
And I'm Cheyenne, finally back for once.
Yep, a new normal face is showing up this week.
I know.
Sadly, this week we don't have Don. His schedule has been kind of all over the place with stuff, work.
That's okay. We got cats to replace him.
Cats. Mine is not around right now. We have all kinds of animals around here. So in the comments, we got Mickey Severson checking in. Damn it, Squidward. And then Shelly Rich King saying hi. That's Redneck Pimp for those y'all who don't know. And Chris Bowles says, that's my homie. I'm assuming he's talking about you.
He's talking about me. I just sent out a whole bunch of invites on Snapchat as well.
Nice. So, and then we got Redneck Pimp saying, hey, have a good show. And hey, you're back. So
I'm back.
Yes.
It's good to be back, man.
So it's nice. It's nice to have you back. Too bad Dawn wasn't here also to get the whole crew together. But
it's all right. Next week we should have everybody.
So hopefully, yes. We're working on trying to figure all that out. All right. So for us today, we've got some stories. I had a bunch of stories pulled up for last week, but I ended up not doing the show because Dawn wasn't able to be on, and just a bunch of stuff was going on for me anyways. So But with that, let's go ahead and get into the first stories that I have for today. So one of them actually I just pulled up earlier, and this is new. There's a sale going on I just totally pulled a freaking blank. All right, so there's a sale going on Steam right now. It is the open world sale. So if you are interested in open world type games and that kind of stuff, go ahead, run over to Steam, check that out. They got lots of games on sale. I'll read.
I was gonna say, on that note, anybody who actually streams off of like Origin or anything, they're also having a huge sale on games, where you can do like the Game Pass for $30 and you get a bunch of games for free.
Yeah. For some reason, it's saying my browser can't. Oh, because I'm using freaking Brave. That's right. Let me turn off my ad blocking. So I upgraded to a new browser. While I'm trying to get this stuff figured out, and it's called Brave. Okay, so Shield's down for this site. So for some reason, Brave's just not letting me share my screen. But yeah, it's a Brave browser. It's a protected browser that allows you to basically have an automatic ad blocker on your browsing, so it blocks all ads and all the attempts to get your information, all that stuff, just hacking you and all that stuff. It blocks all that, and while it's doing that, it gives you the ability to have approved ads through Brave browser that they then repay you back with cryptocurrency called base continuation attention token, and over time you earn that cryptocurrency that can then be turned into real life money. So I'm running that, and it doesn't like StreamYard. I forgot that. So, but with all of that being said, I do have my stream up for share because it'll allow me to do that. It just won't let me to share my browser or my entire screen. But here's the list of the games on Steam for open world sale in celebration of Infinite Exploration, May 27th to May 31st at 10 a.m. Pacific. Any type of open world game from action to racing games. And right now I've got it on racing. So you got Euro Truck and American Truck Simulator, all kinds of awesome racing games. If you go into role-playing games, there are a bunch of them in there. Cyberpunk is on sale. Elder Scrolls Online is on sale. That's always on sale, though.
Yeah, I was going to say, that one's always.
Ark's on sale. So you got all kinds of actually really interesting games that in there. And Don actually mentioned a game to me last night that sounded really awesome that's part of this sale. It's called Scum. It's an open-world survival game, and I watched one of the videos for it. It seems really awesome, so I'm gonna.
I think.
Go ahead.
I think one of these weeks, like maybe next week, so we can all cop this while it's on sale. All three of us should just get together and we'll stream playing it, and we'll just do a game review, whatever that Scum one was.
Scum.
So there's also a new one I checked out, and it's called Zero Dawn, which I think would be really cool to play.
Okay, yeah, $6. Okay, Zero Dawn. I think I've heard of that one. That one sounds pretty good too. Nikki Severson asking if Skyrim is on there. Let me see. I don't think I saw it earlier. That would be role playing. You got Elder Scrolls, Dying Light, Conan, Everspace, Inquisition, The Isle, Greedfall, Mass Effect, Andromeda. Let's see, Hobo, Dragon's Dogma, Dragon Age 2, Dragon Age, lots of good role-playing games, but it does not look like it's got Skyrim on there. Skyrim doesn't go on sale very often, interestingly enough. So probably because it's coming to the end of its rotation period. But yeah. So, look harder, he says. So, he might be getting his microphone issues fixed this week, so hopefully that's true. His microphone issues have been causing lots of problems with us. So,
Mickey, get your shit together.
Yeah, right. So, what was I gonna say there? As far as Scum, yeah, if I have the ability to purchase that game for next week, I definitely want to get into trying to play that. I've been trying to actually stream a little bit more, or want to start streaming a little bit more. I've been playing Grand Theft Auto 5 here most recently on PC. So, because I picked that up free on Epic, I think it was, several months ago. So Epic has free games that they give away every now and then. So go ahead, check them out. I think Among Us right now is the free game they're pushing.
Ooh. All I've been playing is Sims since I've gotten my computer.
Sims is a fun game. The only downside to it that gets me is it's not a multiplayer. I think Sims would be so awesome if it was like a multiplayer type game.
That would be so much fun, like having an open world.
Mm-hmm. Open world, like sandbox multiplayer Sims. That would be freaking awesome. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, I think there was like a time in history where Sims actually became like an open world, like temporarily. I don't know if I'm just remembering something different, but I swear to God, I think it was a thing at one point.
I think you're right. I think I remember back in the day when SimCity was actually really popular. They were doing like a Sims type thing where you could actually be a character in your SimCity cities. I think they were doing. I think I remember something like that. And Mickey's saying he's going to be getting a $200 microphone, and he'll only be paying $70. That's awesome. So look at how polio thick, mama. So, but I'm going to pull up one of these other stories that I pulled up for last week. This one right here is well, I'll just pull it up and we can talk about it. There we go. So pop that one up, and we'll add my.
So Sims 5.
Sims 5 it was? Okay.
Sims 5. I guess that's the next one that's coming out. They're going to have an online multiplayer. Could be the key to long-term success for Sims 5.
Okay, yeah. I think and for a lot of games, I think moving in that direction is what's going to give them longevity and making money. Like, look at Grand Theft Auto, the way that's been on the top for so long. And even still, like, in the servers, they're still loaded up with all kinds of people playing all the time. So, so this next article we got here is Castlevania. 5 games the next Netflix series should adapt. So in 5 it shouldn't. So this article is talking about games that Netflix should kind of adapt and try to turn into a series like they did recently with Castlevania. And apparently I haven't watched it, but I guess Castlevania is actually a pretty good show if you guys are interested in that at all. And I think they just ended Castlevania after like 4 or 5 seasons, I think it was. We talked about it on whichever was the last show that we did. But video game adaptations have not had the best track record. It's only in recent years that the trend has been broken with films and shows like Sonic the Hedgehog, Detective Pikachu, and of course Netflix's Castlevania. I haven't watched Sonic the Hedgehog. Detective Pikachu was I thought that was pretty good. And
was it?
And I felt it was pretty good. I mean, it wasn't great, but it was a pretty good movie. It had I don't know why I'm pulling the blank, but Deadpool. What's his name?
Ryan Reynolds.
Ryan Reynolds. Yes, he was the one who voiced Pikachu in it, and I just thought it was a good movie, fun to watch. But so number 10 on the list of I'm assuming ones that they should. It's saying should. Is Metroid. It's a sci-fi epic waiting to be adapted. And 9 out of 10, they're saying, which should not, is Dead Space. Works better as a game, not a series. What do you think about Metroid? Do you think that would make a good series?
I'm going to be honest. I've actually never played that video game.
I did. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was going to say, I did a little bit back like in Nintendo era. And I enjoyed it, but I mean, it was a Nintendo era game, and they were all good. But what were you going to say?
I was going to say, this might be before my time, to be quite honest, because I don't remember this game whatsoever. This is the first time I'm ever hearing it.
Okay, so yeah, Metroid was like with original Nintendo, like the NES console. It was one of the biggest games on the console. Just like with Castlevania, and you had. Like Ninja Gaiden is another one that was really big back then. Your original Final Fantasy series was a big one back then, and of course Ninja Turtles and those types of things. But yeah, it was an early Nintendo game, and it was great. They actually had TV shows back in the day that were based off of the Nintendo system. It was like the NES Power cartoon, and Metroid was in it, and all that. Those were pretty good. I'm thinking they would be able to adapt it fairly well to Netflix these days. I think it could go really well. because the whole premise of it is Seamus, the character of Metroid. It's been a long time, but the character is a female. Seamus is a female, not a guy. First of all, which was really kind of what's the word I'm looking for? Progressive, I guess, at the time with it during Nintendo, because you didn't have your main characters in mini games being females like that. But yeah, and she was like a space marine type character, and she was in space fighting aliens. One of her things was she'd like roll up in a ball and she could spin down the track, kind of similar to like the Sega. Why am I drawing so many damn blanks? Sonic the Hedgehog. So, but yeah, Metroid just doesn't get enough credit for the impact it had on video games. Not only did it feature one of the first heroines in video games, but it helped pave the way for the Metroidvania genre. That's more than enough to justify adapting it into a thrilling sci-fi animated series, following Seamus Aran as she travels the galaxy going up against treacherous space pirates, single-handedly facing hordes of aliens and killing gigantic opponents. Most importantly, it would remind audiences that Seamus Aran is more than just a pretty face, but also a deadly warrior. So I think that would actually really fit really well as a series. They're saying Dead Space wouldn't work as a series. I haven't really played any of Dead Space, so I can't speak on that. Have you ever played Dead Space?
I only ever played it like for maybe 30 seconds, and then I got really bored of it. It was not very good.
I can understand that. I think that's probably why I haven't gotten into it. It just never looked like a game that would pique my interest, really. And then number 8 is a should. Punch-Out could be the next Megalobox. What the hell is Megalobox? If Megalobox has proven anything, it's that an animated series about martial arts can be well received, which is why Punch-Out could make a compelling series following Little Mac's career as a boxer. There's enough to build a strong underdog story, especially when he's going up against his larger eccentric competition. Although most of his opponents like Piston, Hondo, or Great Tiger have problematic origins, the Wii version of Punch-Out has shown that they can be updated to become more than just outdated stereotypes. Plus, they might even manage to get Mike Tyson to voice act. So, do you know much about Punch-Out?
No, but I don't remember. Looking at these, it reminds me of those little, what was that ring game that had the two fighters and you like clicked it and then they would just like punch each other? You know what I'm talking about?
Oh, Rock'em Sock'em Robot?
Rock'em Sock'em, yeah.
Yeah.
That's what this reminds me of.
Similar-ish, in fact. So, yeah, with Punch-Out, it was you had your boxing ring and you had your character that was kind of like a silhouette. You really just see your boxing gloves, and you have the character you're fighting, and it was really just throwing punches using A and B and all that stuff, and the Nintendo version of it. And
I feel like there's a lot of these games out already, though.
Yeah, these days I think so. They're talking more about turning it into a series. I think it could work-ish, but it would be a real kind of campy-ish style cartoon, I think, because if you look at the characters in Punch-Out, especially from back in the Nintendo era of it, it was pretty like what I had just read here. It kind of did a lot of stereotyping. So you had one that was like an Indian type character, and he was dressed up all in Indian guard. I think that one was the one who had a glass jaw, all that stuff, and his name was kind of borderline racist. I mean, a lot of the stereotypes they put in the game as far as the characters were borderline racist.
See, if they bring that out, though, then it's going to be a huge uproar. You can't do that nowadays. So I feel like a lot of the games that they're trying to bring back that were really good back in the day are not going to be as good because they're not going to have all of those same characteristics that made them good, that made them funny. Because you can't have any sort of like racial undertones to anything. People are going to fucking lose their minds. Ooh, sorry.
Yeah,
they're going to lose their minds. Even Mickey says, "Hell no, not Punch-Out."
Oh yeah, Punch-Out would be a difficult one to make a TV show, I think, but they kind of addressed that in the comments there, how they did how, let's see, the Wii version of Punch Out has shown that they can be updated to become more than just outdated stereotypes. Plus, and the thing about getting Mike Tyson to voice act, because Punch Out was a Mike Tyson game, it was Mike Tyson's Punch Out.
Mhm.
So, and the final boss bit that you had to fight was Mike Tyson. So it was all build up to fighting Mike Tyson. The next one is Ghosts and Goblins. They say it should not be turned into a series. And I did play a little bit of Ghosts and Goblins, and it was just a side-scrolling kind of kill 'em all. From what I remember, it doesn't really have much of a storyline to it so much. Go ahead.
See, with these ones, the side-scrolling games seem to be like a really big hit, especially like if you're putting it on an app. Like look at Flappy Bird, or when they brought back the old Mario, and they put like the Nintendo 64-bit ones. Like those were super popular. Everybody lost their minds over. So I feel like this one should be like a should make. Like this could be successful.
As far as remaking as a game, I think for mobile type stuff, yeah, you're absolutely correct. That would be a pretty awesome type thing to do. As far as a series, because from what I remember, it didn't really have much of a story to it. I don't think it would fit into being made into a series. Let's see what they have. While Ghosts and Goblins does share several similarities with Castlevania, that's not enough to warrant its own animated adaptation. The series boils down to Arthur going on a quest to save his princess, but unlike Mario, does little to mix things up story-wise. As noble as he is, Arthur is fairly generic as a hero and lacks the complexity needed to lead a series. Besides, it would be in Netflix's best interest to choose a game that people won't be compared to the last series they made. Plus, there's a chance this will just dredge up bad memories of players having to replay the game again to get the true ending. So, yeah. And that's pretty much what I was saying. It doesn't really have much of a story to it. Here's a good one. God of War should be adapted to a series. And as far as like remaking this one, it's already still going. So I guess we can't really talk on remaking the game. But as far as turning it into a series, I think that would fit well.
I remember like when God of War first came out a few years ago, and in the first year, it won Best Game of the Year.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know. Have you played it through?
I haven't really played too much of God of War. I never really got into it in the beginning because I wasn't a PlayStation person. I've only just recently become a PlayStation person, and even then, I don't really play a lot of games on it. So
the gameplay is awesome. Like the whole storyline of it is amazing, and the way that they redid like the whole graphics of it, yeah, like it is amazing. And I believe that there's a feature where whatever you select is like the path that it takes you down the storyline. I could be incorrect about that, but honestly, playing that one was such a good game that when I beat it, I was like, I wanted to do it again. So I think that would be super successful as a series.
I think that sounds like it really would, and I kind of now I want to play it. So, and I
when
might
we
get
get off of here, you need to watch like a gameplay of it. It's so good.
Okay, I'll check all that out. So, because I have always kind of felt an interest in it. I wanted to get the newest one, but I have all kinds of games that I want to buy, and that went to the bottom of the list as far as purchases. Let's see. The next one they're saying they shouldn't make a series is Duke Nukem. It's a product of the 90s. And do you know very much of anything about Duke Nukem?
No.
No?
I was born in the 90s. I don't know anything.
So Duke Nukem 1 and 2 were kind of a side-scrolling game similar-ish to like Contra type of game. And those were really fun. It was a little more modern and more advanced than Contra. You kind of figure it'd be like a Super Nintendo or maybe an original PlayStation level type of Contra type game, but it was a PC game back in those days. And then after Duke Nukem 1 and 2, they did Duke Nukem 3D, which was more similar to like a Doom type game, or even like Quake. Those early forms of first-person shooter type games is what Duke Nukem 3D was, but it was very, very vulgar. Like there were parts of the game where you had to go into strip clubs and there were strippers in there with their titties out, and you could like walk up to the strippers and flash money at them, and they, you know, wag their titties for you, and pixelated graphics, obviously. But as I think at the time I was playing this, I was like a 12 maybe, so it was all exciting.
I have a
like,
person on my Discord that says Duke Nukem needs to stay dead.
so I love the game Duke Nukem 3D. They haven't done well with any of the remakes of Duke Nukem that I know of. I haven't really been rushing out to play any of the new Duke Nukem games, honestly, with it. And I think, like he was saying, it needs to stay dead. I don't think that would make a good series because it was a good game because it was the 90s and they used that vulgarity to make it a good game. So.
Oh man, Jonathan said that he loved that game.
That he loved Duke Nukem 3D?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I loved it too. It was one of my favorite games. I played it over and over and over. I mean, there was to point out a level of its vulgarity. There's a boss scene that after you kill the boss, you literally rip his head off and shit down his throat. So it's like it was a pretty risque game back in those days.
Interesting.
So the next should that they're saying is Metal Slug is exploding with personality and grenades. I have not played Metal Slug. I don't know anything about Metal Slug, so I can't really speak yes or no for it. It says, if there's a game that's just begging to be explored, it's Metal Slug. The games were bursting with personality and come with a team of super soldiers. Marco, Tarma, Ari, and Flo, who can play off one another. The series could balance comedy with action as they raid war-torn cities and face off against aliens, robots, mummies, and the enemy army. So there's that for you. If you think that's something that could be turned well into a series, go ahead and mention it in the comments, or go ahead and talk to Netflix, I guess. Here's another one they're saying should not, and I was just mentioning this one a moment ago, Contra. It's too bland to adapt. So any gamer worth their salt knows about Contra and its infamous Konami code, but is that enough to warrant a series on Netflix? The games share a bare-bones plot of sending soldiers to single-handedly fight against an alien menace. It doesn't help that it's hard to keep track of which games are canon, and there's too little lore to build a series around. As great as the original games are, they aren't fit for an animated adaptation. Even Rambo had more material worth making into a cartoon. So with this, I agree that there's not a lot of lore to the game to turn it into a series, but I think with Contra and just its general popularity as a game, especially because of the Konami code, I think it could be, you have a blank slate to kind of adapt into whatever you want it to be as far as that goes, and a way to kind of toss in the Easter egg of the Konami code with it as well. You have any thoughts there, Shay?
I don't think I would watch it.
You don't think you'd watch it?
No.
That's fair. So, number two, another one that we should is Sly Cooper. It was practically made to be adapted. I've never even heard of Sly Cooper. It's surprising to think that Sly Cooper hasn't already been adapted into an animated series. This series already has a cartoony art style, and the game worlds are already split into serialized episodes like most of Netflix shows. The Cooper gang knows how to balance comedy, action, and drama as Sly strives to live up to the high standards his ancestors set. The series has been dying for a reboot since Sly 4. Thieves in Time left fans on a cliffhanger, and Sly has what it takes to follow up on Belmont's act. If Agretsuko and Beastars have proven anything, it's that Netflix knows how to make quality shows about anthropomorphic animals. Have you ever even heard of that game?
Like a really long time ago, that used to be super popular. It was kind of popular around the same time that Crash Bandicoot was like popular.
Okay, so from what they're explaining there, it sounds like it should fare well as a series, or could fare well as a series. I don't know. Like I said, I've never even heard of it.
Maybe
it's
for kids.
Yeah, for kids, because it does look like it would be a kid type thing in the little image it's got here of it. So, and I think, well, Castlevania is that series on Netflix. I would feel kind of appeals more to an anime type fan group. because its art style is anime style artwork, and I think the original game was a Japanese type game, so it was based off an anime type everything as well. But yeah, I think that'll work. So going on to the next one, should not. Jack and Daxter. It isn't clear if it's aimed for kids or teens. It should not. Jack and Daxter is another game that I really haven't played. I'm not much of a platformer, but it does have some potential to earn an adaptation after all these years, but it also suffers from an identity crisis. The first game, Jack and Daxter, the precursor Legacy, was clearly aimed at a younger audience, but the sequels, Jack 2 and 3, were targeted at an older, edgier demographic. Even if that could be resolved, Jack is a fairly bland protagonist that is only remembered thanks to his partner Daxter. The only way this could work as a series is with a major overhaul of the series as a whole. There's a reason this didn't perform well as Ratchet and Clank or Sly Cooper, and it's also why it shouldn't get adapted. And I'm thinking what they're saying here, as Jack and Daxter was kind of on the second two games, it was targeted at an older demographic because the market was kind of being flooded with those games for platform type games that are intended for kids. Like you have Ratchet and Clank that they mentioned, and Sly Cooper. Those were more geared towards being a game for kids. So, and then there's another, I think it was Ratchet and Clank is the one that Desiree would play. But yeah, and did you ever play Jack and Daxter, or do you know anything about it?
No, I have no idea what that is.
So,
I feel like
Go ahead.
I feel like when we find these articles, we need to just like take a couple of days and just play them ahead of time.
So that actually would work. That way we kind of know and we understand them a little bit better. I would be totally for that. I link all the stories in the
Discord.
Yeah, the Discord. So that might be something that we might want to try to put in. So, but like I said, I've never really played it. Don mentioned it in a show a few weeks ago that he'd played it before. We were talking about Ratchet and Clank, I think it was, because they're making a new Ratchet and Clank game. But yeah, that's the end of that article. So if you have any opinions or points on games that you think might be fit to turn into a series, go ahead, toss them in the comments and we'll talk about it. So we have Mickey was the last commenter over there. All right, so we'll get on to the next story. So this next one is again about Netflix. And this one's actually a fairly interesting one. So Netflix may go all in on gaming, says report. And this again was a story that I pulled up for last week. And I think I ended up just gaming last week instead of actually doing a show. So Netflix is really actually considering doing video games. And this article was updated 9 days ago. Update, a Netflix spokesperson sent over his statement after we published the story below. Our members value the variety and quality of our content. It's why we've continually expanded our offering from series to documentaries, film, local language originals, and reality TV. Members also enjoy engaging more directly with stories they love through interactive shows like Bandersnatch and You vs. Wild, or games based on Stranger Things, La Casa de Papel, and To All the Boys. So we're excited to do more with interactive entertainment. And I think this has a lot to do. I think this ties into the last story we did because of the Netflix series thing, and then now Netflix is getting into gaming. So them getting or acquiring properties regarding video games could actually also apply to them making shows about them. So that last one actually is something that might actually be applicable because of the fact that Netflix is getting into gaming. If that was not cryptic enough, I don't know. Sorry, I'm all over the place today with my speech. I don't know why. The original story, Netflix may be putting together a new gaming division if latest reports are anything to go by. The information has reported that Netflix is looking to hire an executive to oversee an expansion into video games, a sign it is stepping up its efforts to grow beyond traditional filmed entertainment. According to people familiar with the situation, the report is stuck behind quite a high paywall. Just to warn you, the routers has condensed it. So in order to get to the report, you have to pay for it, I think. So I'm not really sure. Hold on, I need to send a text message. Sorry. Okay. There's no official job listing for this role, at least not that we've spotted. But the reports authors claim the various gaming industry execs have been approached about the potential role at the company. Do you have anything to say on this article so far while I send a text message real quick?
I don't know if I would necessarily trust letting Netflix handle any sort of gaming, to be quite honest. Like, I don't know. Because they seem like Netflix always takes away, like, all of the good things. And, like, oop, he went away. Don't leave me here with the stream alone.
So, sorry, I had kids in the background screaming. But, Netflix, so can you say that one more time, what you were saying?
I was just going to say, I don't know if I necessarily trust Netflix. Like, I think this is just an opportunity for them to try to expand, for them to make more money. And I don't think that it's going to pan out well for them, because a lot of people are getting out of Netflix.
So, yeah, and that might be the reason why they're trying to get into gaming, to kind of grab another part of the market that's actually a pretty big one. And a lot of your larger companies are investigating into getting into streaming gaming also. Like, I know I've heard a lot about Google doing it, Steam's looking into things for it, and all of that. But it's been hit and miss on it. And I think that's what Netflix might be wanting to do with it, like streaming gaming and then also just developing games. It won't be the first foray into games from Netflix, with crossovers found in the Stranger Things video game, or even the number of choose-your-own-adventure flicks on the platform, like Black Mirror, Bandersnatch, or even the finale of The Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt. But it does sound like Netflix may have even bigger things in store. Best Netflix shows. Okay, those are links to different stories. Swimming upstream. If the report is true, it shows a somewhat different stance from Netflix, which appeared to keep a respectful distance from the game development for the most part, being content to adapt hit game franchises into flagship series like The Witcher, or titles based on Tomb Raider or even Resident Evil. And that's kind of another thing. So they're getting these properties from video games and all that stuff. And I think they're probably learning a lot about video games and writing the stories for them and adapting them to actual good series. So I think that might actually help with them getting into producing games. Like, because have you watched The Witcher?
I think I have. Yeah, I watched like the first 3 episodes and then I got out of it.
Okay, because I've watched the entire series. Like, the first couple episodes are a little slow. It takes a couple episodes to really get into the feel of it. But they've done a pretty good job at capturing what is the storyline for the game, and I'm looking forward to the next season when it comes out.
I'm gonna have to get back into that. I need a new show to watch.
It was pretty good. I mean, there's not as many episodes as I would have liked it to have had, but they're doing that also a lot now too. They're reducing the amount of episodes in a season. That way, they're easily bingeable and quickly bingeable, so you can go on to the next content. So, CEO Reed Hastings has acknowledged the draw of big games like Fortnite, acknowledging that the Battle Royale shooter is a bigger competitor for users' time than any of the other big TV streaming services we compete with and lose to Fortnite more than HBO. And that I'm kind of on the I don't know. I'm not a huge Fortnite fan, and I think the Battle Royale type thing is getting to be a little bit much because they're throwing it into everything. Even GTA 5 has Battle Royales in it.
The only Battle Royale that matters is Apex, because Apex is fun.
So, and given that in Grand Theft Auto 5's Battle Royale mode, it's not like Battle Royale where the same as like you have Warzone and Apex and Fortnite, where it's 100 players out there playing. On the Grand Theft Auto one, I think it's a max of like 20 players that you can have in there. I think something like that, 24 players, and it's 4 to 8 teams, I think, is what you're able to have, and it's teams of 4. So 8 times 4 is 24, 32. Yeah. So But it's the same thing. You come in a plane, you jump out, you parachute down, and the fort or the GTA 5 one though, when you're parachuting, you don't land properly, it will kill you. Like I ran into the side of a building when I was parachuting in, and it killed me on the one game that I played. But then you go in and you have to get in tanks and stuff like that, and drive the tanks around and destroy everyone else. So it seemed pretty fun, but yeah. With all that, I think that's enough on that one. So learn to maths because I said 24 instead of 32. So Mickey says I'd be all over Steam as far as streaming gaming is concerned. Skyrim, they say, is a good one. Mickey Severson was saying Skyrim would be a good one to adapt into a series. I think that might work. That would probably work really well, but that's going to be an epic series, more similar to like The Witcher. And Among Us would be good as a series. What do you think about that one?
As a series, I don't think so. There's a couple streamers that I follow that have an Among Us VR that they turn into like a little series, and they make it like humorous. And I think that's good for like a YouTube series, but as like a TV show, absolutely not. I probably wouldn't watch it unless it's like a cartoon for little kids. That might be funny, but
yeah, for little kids it might be funny, and as an animated short, like a YouTube type thing, I think you're right on that. I think that would work. Like videos of 10 minutes or less each. I think kind of like Red versus Blue and all that.
yeah. So
go
on
ahead.
the topic of battle royales, we have a question in the Discord that says, "What's the difference between a deathmatch and a battle royale game?"
Well, mostly the difference between a deathmatch and a battle royale is deathmatch is so when you're going into just a solo match on a battle royale, I'd say that's in itself a death match. However, with the battle royale, you're dealing with larger numbers of people typically, and then there's also the fact that you're dropping in without weapons or kit, and you have to acquire that and get yourself with the points because the points always completely moving. Whereas deathmatch is just straight up either two teams fighting each other or individuals all going at it free for all.
Death matches, you also reload back in. So yeah, the biggest definitely would be like your loadouts are different. So normally in battle royales, you don't start with anything, except for like Apex. Apex, you start with baseline like armor and stuff,
like and a base kit.
Yeah, exactly. But they upgrade, and then when it comes to like death matches, you can select your loadouts ahead of time. Elimination, normally with death matches, you can respawn back into the game, where battle royales, you have to start like right over. And then when it comes down to like the killing, your kills are a lot faster. Like the gameplay is a lot more fast paced than when it comes to battle royales. Battle royales are more like, I literally played a game of Apex and I won it by myself, and I didn't see a single person. I didn't have a single like damage at the end of it. Had no kills, and I still became champion of the arena just because like something happened. I think they died in the storm, but like that's the thing. Like you can win it by doing nothing.
Yeah,
essentially.
If you can hide well enough, and I think that's part of the actual what makes the battle royale type game so addictive, because you don't have to necessarily be highly skilled at the game in order to rank high. You get that reward by just going in and managing to be stealthy and avoid everyone and just kind of last towards the end, instead of absolutely having to be on top of the KD and top of the points earned for that particular match. So yeah, I would say for like placing and ranking and actually getting finishing spots in them, there's a much more skill based factor as far as a deathmatch type game goes than battle royale does. I can absolutely agree to that. So we're about the midpoint of the show, so let's go ahead and get into the reads for our little sponsorship stuff that we've got going on.
Did you just lick my armpit?
Huh?
My cat just licked my armpit.
Hey, cats are weird sometimes.
Do you mind?
My cat rubs his face in my armpits.
We have a special guest today, Chubbs.
That works. Special guests are always welcome. So for today, for WO Entertainment, why don't you go? You can go ahead and go check out WO Entertainment on Facebook. The Facebook page is WO Entertainment. Make sure you check out the pinned post on the page, which gives you a list of all the shows that we do over here at WO Entertainment, and gives you updates and information about things that we do, like Warrior Fest and stuff like that. As far as the shows, I'll read out to you real quick what we've got going. Tuesdays at 12 o'clock Central is Where's My Girl with host Roy Anthony. That's just a comedy show. He gets on and talks and makes jokes and stuff like that. Tuesdays at 1700 Central, we got WO Radio Show with Redneck Pimp, Goose, and Tater. That is the flagship show for WO Entertainment. And that's basically just a talk show. They go on and they talk about whatever they want. They have guests often. A few weeks ago, I was a guest on their show, and another one of the guests was the mayor of the town that they're based in. So that was pretty awesome. Wednesdays, 1900 Central, we got Blue Phoenix Gaming with Jen. That's a gaming show. She plays video games. She'll talk about video games. And Thursdays at 1200 Central, we got, again, Where's My Girl with Roy Anthony. Thursdays, 1400 Central, Cars and Coronas with Gapple Bays. That's on a brief pause right now, however, because the host, Gapple Bay, he is actually got issues with his computer that he's trying to get worked out. Thursday at 1700 Central, we have the Harambe Keeper with Mickey. And he just goes on rants about stuff. He is a ranter, and he likes to put information out about the VA and help veterans kind of understand and work through a lot of issues that we have like that. So go check him out. Fridays night, and Mickey, he's actually co-host with me on another one of our shows, and he's actually on ATF and 1700 somewhere occasionally. On Fridays, 1900 Central, we have the Hideout on Spreaker with me. That is only on Spreaker right now. And that's a music show where I play music for y'all on Friday evenings to get started on your weekend. This weekend, we themed it for Memorial Day, obviously, because it's Memorial Day weekend. And each week we have a theme. We'll play, say, for example, the week before that was music from TVs and movies where the artists perform music. And before that, the week before that, it was, I think that week was sea shanties and Viking chants. Next week, we're going to be doing video game music. And Fridays at 2100, we have Married with Comedy with James and Jeff. That is not an actual WO Entertainment show, but we do post it to the WO Entertainment page for them. Saturdays 1900 Central, we have Hot Boxing with Matt. And that is a barbecue show, and Matt is the owner of OVB Barbecue, which is one of the sponsors of WO Entertainment. Sundays, 1400 Central, which is where you're at right now, is the L Train Fighters with Athen and Don, which we just talk about gaming and tech and TVs, movies, all that stuff, nerd culture. Sundays, 1700 Central, which show that we have coming on next is 1700 somewhere with Athen and Don. And it sounds like Shay's going to be able to come back to these shows a little more often, which we're excited about. And I think that's all of the reads and everything like that I have to do. So, yeah. Oh, yeah, go check out our Facebook group, which is the WOHQ. So, there we go. I've got that done. So, Mickey says he's working on to transition from rants to various segments. So, yes, he is working on that. He's trying to get segments that are constructed for a show that he can kind of do to bring attention. With that, do you have any input on any of that there, Shay? Anything that you want to put out, push, or?
No.
No? Okay. Sounds good. So
it'll just be me and my dumbass two cats.
That works. So let's get into this next story. So we got bad news for Xbox Game Pass subscribers. And let's see what
here we go. That's me.
So bad news for Xbox Game Pass subscribers. When EA Play joined Xbox Game Pass, gamers discovered a clever pricing loophole. It was possible suddenly to save a ton of money on Microsoft Premier subscription service games, Game Pass Ultimate. premier subscription service, Game Pass Ultimate. That service, after a trial period, costs $15 a month and includes Xbox Game Pass, xCloud streaming, as well as Xbox Live Gold. In other words, it's a pretty good deal. Enterprising gamers were able to make it an even better deal. The trick was simple. You could redeem one of your EA Play or 1 year of EA Play for 4 months of Game Pass Ultimate. Since 1 year of EA Play costs just $30, you could essentially get Game Pass Ultimate for half price, cutting the monthly subscription rate to just $7.50. That's a hell of a deal considering all the games from Microsoft, EA, Bethesda, and tons of other developers and publishers, both great and small, the cloud streaming, and the Xbox Live Gold online service. Alas, all good things must come to an end, especially crazy loopholes that cut deep into a company's profit margin. As spotted by Twisted Voxel, this loophole has now been closed. Microsoft's EA Play FAQ has been updated. It now reads 1 month of EA Play will extend an Xbox Game Pass Ultimate subscription by 10 days, and a 1 year EA Play code will extend an Xbox Game Pass Ultimate subscription by 2 months. Since 1 year of EA Play costs $30 and 2 months Game Pass Ultimate costs $30, this brings the service pricing to parity. Balance has been restored, though that balance works out much better for Microsoft than for gamers. If this is the first you're hearing of this loophole, join the crowd. We all could have saved some serious cash if we'd only known before the loophole was closed. Oh well, Game Pass is still a fantastic service. One can hardly complain. Check out next week's upcoming video game releases in the video I put together below. Oh, so that's an advertisement for his next video. But honestly, the path to be able to get games, on a subscription service, so you can go in and just download any game that you want to play. I like those ideas, paying for that subscription service like that. However, I don't like the fact that you have to pay to be able to play games online, like with your Xbox Gold membership and your PlayStation Plus accounts. I don't like those. I think it should be free to play online games, like with PCs. Your opinion?
PSN free for a really long time until recently?
Yes, it was. That was one of PlayStation's biggest things. It was always free to play on PlayStation Network, as far as I remember. And then, I think with the PS4 is when they made it. You had to pay for a subscription to PlayStation Network. So,
which is so stupid too, because when you get on PC gaming, you don't have to pay to play online.
Nope. So
you can just download the game and you can play no matter what.
And that's a big reason why I've pretty much always been a PC gamer, because it's free to play, except for obviously buying your games. But I don't think it would have been cutting too much into Microsoft's profits for them giving that substantially discounted service to their live memberships, which and most gamers don't feel should actually exist anyway. But they fixed it, so now you won't be able to get Xbox Gold membership for really cheap anymore. If you even knew that loophole existed in the first place.
I did.
If not,
I didn't know.
If not, your feelings probably just got a little bit hurt because you're like, I could have been saving that much money this whole time. So,
granted, I have my Xbox Live to come out of my PayPal, and I don't even realize when it does.
I'm the same usually the same with my PlayStation Network, because it just automatically comes out of the account. You don't need PlayStation Network or PlayStation Plus for what I usually use it for, Netflix and YouTube. But I like having it in case I do want to play the occasional game.
I was going to say, the thing that really floors me about Xbox Live, though, is the fact that I have to have Xbox Live to get on my Netflix account.
Yeah, I know with PlayStation you can have a free account to be able to use Netflix or YouTube on it, but you can't play online games without the PlayStation Plus. So it'll be like you need a PlayStation Plus account to be able to play this. But so the next story that I had is another one about talking about Netflix expanding into video games. I'm going to skip that one and go to the other next one. This one would have been a good one for me to read for Mickey, since considering his issues with his mic and all that stuff, his headset. But he got that headset fixed. He said it was a $200 headset that he's paying $70 for. So I want to know what kind of headset it is, if you know, Mickey. So go ahead and put it in the comments what type of headset. So But we'll go ahead and get in this article. The best gaming headsets of 2021. This is a CNN article. A great gaming headset will help you get immersed in virtual worlds, chat with your friends, and hear enemies coming during heated Call of Duty matches. And when you're not gaming, these headsets double as reliable everyday headphones for taking work calls and listening to music. CNN underscored extensively tested 15 of the top gaming headsets, wired and wireless models, to seek out models that were the most comfortable, sounded the best, offered useful features, and dependable microphones, and worked well across multiple consoles and computers. After lots and lots of game time, here are the three that stood out. The best budget gaming headset is the Razer Kraken X. Best wired gaming headset, HyperX Cloud Alpha S. And best wireless gaming headset is the Turtle Beach Stealth 700 Gen 2. Funny thing is, the Razer Kraken X, that is a headset that I actually do own, and I used it for a little while. It is a good headset. I would say its volume is a little low for stuff. And the HyperX Cloud Alpha is this that I'm wearing right now. So, if your budget is $50 or less, the Razer Kraken X delivers some of the best comfort and sound quality out of all of the affordable wired headsets we tested. With a microphone that holds its own against even more expensive options, it also works well with nearly every platform, thanks to its versatile 3.5mm wired headphone connection. So one thing about the Razer Kraken X that I'm sad about is recently our cat chewed it all up, chewed the cord on it up. I was kind of pissed about that, but oh well, it's a backup headset. So, but and as far as this HyperX Cloud Alpha, one thing I have complained about that is that I don't know if you heard that right there, but if you even just look at your mic boom too hard, you get a horrible static crackling over your transmission, which sucks. And
See, yours didn't do it right then.
It didn't do it. So
No.
everyone is usually complaining about if I touch my boom, it just crackles horribly and just breaks people's ears. So I've learned to not touch it. But it maybe had something to do with the way I had the mic actually plugged in, because it's got a 3.5mm removable mic, so I can unplug the mic if I want to. And that when I did that recently, that might have actually fixed that problem. But so the best budget gaming headset is Razer Kraken X for $49.99. That's a picture of it. Pretty basic. They are reasonably comfortable. The mic is pretty good. For the most part, everything about this headset's pretty good. Like I said, the volume was a little low for my preference. The Razer Kraken X was the clear standout among many budget, but for $50, you can't go wrong with it. So budget gaming headsets we tested, thanks to strong overall sound quality, a clear microphone, and most significantly, a comfortable design that we never got the urge to take off. At just over half a pound and sporting a set of plush memory foam cup ears, the Kraken X felt snug and secure without weighing us down, and it was easy to forget where we were even wearing it during hours plus gaming session. This set it apart from budget rivals like the Logitech G42, 432, and Turtle Beach Recon 70, which are similarly lightweight but have ear cups that felt much more stiff by comparison. And I've used a Logitech I think the one I had was a G430, so it was a few models earlier than that. I used that one for a very long time. That was actually a pretty good headset, but I'll agree with when it says it wasn't very comfortable. I'm not going to read all this about the Turtle X's, or not Turtle X's, the Kraken X's, that's the words I was looking for. And then the next one is the best wired gaming headset, HyperX Cloud Alpha S, which, like I said, is the headphones I'm wearing right now. I have the red ones, not the solid black ones. But PlayStation, Nintendo Switch TV mode, PC via USB, and, well, this is a different set than mine, so I don't have USB on mine. Mine's just straight up 3.5mm plugs. Oh, it might be because this is the S. Mine's not the S. Mine's just flat output. Nintendo Switch handheld mode, Xbox PC via 3.5mm headphone jack. Oh yeah, I do actually have a dongle I can put on here for USB, so that's correct. I could switch to USB. If you're in the market for a premium wired headset, that sounds great. Feels comfortable, works well with every platform, and has especially excellent controls. The HyperX Cloud Alpha S excels on all of those fronts. And I want to jump over to camera real quick so I can show something about my headphones. What's really cool about them is they've actually got a spot in the middle of the cord that you can disconnect, and that's where you plug in the USB dongle to. So you can just. So you couldn't hear me for a second because I disconnected it. But yeah.
Mine has that too.
Yeah. Which headset do you have?
A Logitech.
Oh yeah, you got the Logitech.
Hell yeah, dude. On the other streams that I used to do, I had like this. Hang on, it's actually right here. I had this little guy because I was literally just using it for like my school, and I started using it for the streams. Dude, Logitech is where it's at. Like the quality on Logitech is amazing.
Logitech has some pretty good stuff. Like I said, I used those G430s for quite some time, and it was just recently that I upgraded my headphones to. Well, first I upgraded to the HyperXs, not the HyperXs, the Kraken X's. Yep, the G432s. And mine was, like I said, a couple generations before that, the G430s, and they were a great headset. They have good sound quality. They're loud. The mic is awesome. So. But I upgraded to the Kraken X's, and I just didn't like those because, like I said, they were too quiet. I put those as my backup, and I got the Cloud Alphas, which have good volume. They're comfortable as all hell. They fit snug because it's in completely aluminum built headband on it and all that stuff. They have a fair amount of weight. I like my stuff to have weight. Like, I don't know, I don't like light stuff. It feels chinky to me. Oh, that's a racist word that I shouldn't have said. Oops. Oh, chinky. I said
chinky.
But
whoops.
Yeah, right. So we've got the Alpha, or so if you're in the market for a premium wired headset, sounds great, feels comfortable, works well with every platform, and has especially excellent controls. HyperX Cloud Alpha S excels on all those fronts. The Alpha S sports one of the sleekest and most sturdy feeling builds of any headset we've tested, with an understated all-black design consisting of a solid steel frame and soft faux leather-coated cushions. If you want a bit more flair, there are also blue and red options available that add some color to the ear cups and headband, which I've got the red ones. The Alpha S's cushy memory foam cup ears immediately stood out as some of the most comfortable in our testing pool. The second we put the headset on, that remained the case for days, as we never got the urge to take HyperX's headset off throughout long hours of taking work meetings and sneaking away to play some games. But the real genius of Alpha S design lies in the controls. While most headsets force you to fumble with on-ear buttons and dials that you can't see, the Alpha S has a handy control panel right on the wire for adjusting volume, balancing game and chat levels, muting your mic, and even activating the 7.1 surround sound. So that part right there, my headset didn't come with. I bought the one that didn't have that because I heard a lot of complaints about that particular piece when trying to use it for stuff. Because that's like a preamp type thing that's on the actual headset itself. And every review that I read when I was buying mine said not to get that particular one. So it says similar headsets such as the Logitech G Pro X and the Razer Black Shark V2 require you to hop into an app to activate different sound modes. So being able to instantly amp up your game audio with a single tap was a really nice convenience. I thought it was pretty cool because these headphones actually came with a really nice little velvet bag and all that stuff. And for the wireless headset, we have Turtle Beach Stealth 700 Gen 2. That's $149.95 from Amazon. It's an Xbox, PC, PlayStation, and Nintendo Switch TV mode. You can only use the Xbox model on PC. And that's the one of the problems that I have with Turtle Beach is you have to buy them. Like, you can't use any Turtle Beach headset on a PlayStation. If you buy a PlayStation Turtle Beach headset, it is a PlayStation headset. And then same thing with the Xbox One, which will work with PC because Microsoft. And I don't know, I haven't really used too many Turtle Beaches. My kids had a wired Turtle Beach. I want to say it was an A100 is what they had. Or no, it was A400 I think they had. That they sounded good on the Xbox, but literally the only thing it was usable on is the Xbox. But what was the price on? Did it say the price on the HyperXs?
On the HyperXs?
Yeah, no. Oh, $128.80, and I got mine on sale because I only paid like $80 for my headset. So yeah, from this article, those are the ones that would be recommended. Let me get into how they tested. So as you might expect, our quest to find the best gaming headsets required us to play lots and lots of video games. We tested every headset in our pool on every platform it would work with, connecting each one to a PlayStation 5, Xbox Series S, Nintendo Switch, and a Windows PC whenever possible or wherever possible to gauge overall compatibility. To get a sense of how each headset held up for various genres, we focused primarily on our 4 test games, Mortal Kombat 11, Overwatch, Rocket League, and Monster Hunter Rise. For each title, we noted how well each headset handled big, punchy sounds, such as gunshots and explosions, as well as more subtle environmental sounds that are more important to competitive play, such as footsteps. We tried out any special features and companion apps we offered by each headset, taking note of how useful its various sound modes and on-ear controls were. We used Audacity to gauge each headset's microphone quality, recording clips of ourselves talking on each model while paying attention to things such as background noise, echo, and overall voice clarity. We also made each headset our daily driver for at least a full workday, using them to take calls, listen to music, and watch videos while getting a sense of how comfortable they each stayed during hours-long sessions. Other gaming headsets they tested was SteelSeries Arctis 7X wireless. That was a $150 set. The Logitech G Pro X, $130 set. Razer Black Shark V2 is a $100 set. The Razer Black Shark V2 Pro is a $180 set. The Xbox wireless headset is $99. HyperX Cloud 2 wireless was $149. The Razer Kraken V3X is a $70 set. Corsair HS50 Pros. HyperX Cloud Stinger S is a $45 set. Logitech G42 is a $50 set. That's what Shay's using over there. The Logitech G332, which is a step below that set, is a $40 set of headphones. And the Turtle Beach Recon 70, which is like a $35 set of headphones.
I used to love Turtle Beaches.
So, yeah, like I said, Turtle Beaches are, I like them. Their sound quality is stellar. They sound great, but like I said, you have to buy a particular set for each thing. And I like the ability to just use them wherever I go. So like my headset, I can plug into my PlayStation controller. I can plug it into my computer. I can use it on my TV. I can use it on my phone. I can use my headset wherever in anywhere I want with no problem. So, but yeah, those are the headsets right there. And if you want me to link any of this or any of these articles anywhere, just send me a message or ask in the chat there, and I'll put them in the chat. So let's see, we're coming up to about 20 minutes left in the show, so we got a couple more stories we can do here. Let's see, this is music news because believe it or not, we do actually talk about music on this show. So coming up for this next article is going to be, and I'm still sharing my screen, right? Yeah, I think so. I never changed that. All right, so the Journal of Musical Things, that's the website this is coming from, and it's music news. So random music news for Saturday, May 22nd, 2021. That would have been last week because that's when I pulled these articles up. So damn, these little buggers are tough. It's a good thing they're so tiny. Over to music news for May 22nd, 2021. I don't know what the hell. I guess he's talking about making these articles because there hasn't been a lot in music news recently. So they said they now have Noel Gallagher's prize for reforming Oasis. I don't know anything about that. That's £100 million. Travis Barker is currently the most influential person in music. I'm guessing these are all articles that I can pull up. Thank you, Rob Halford. Yeah, that's what it's like. Have you heard about the global music vaults? What songs do you think should be preserved for all time? Ooh, that might be a good one to talk about. This looks like fun. A comedy series about an all-female, all-Muslim punk band. That I feel that might have problems written all over it.
Russell Simmons has sued his ex-wife for fraud.
Really? Let's see that one.
It's number 9.
Yeah, I just pulled that one up. Let's see what's going on. Let's go ahead and read this one. So Russell Simmons sues ex-wife Kimora Lee Simmons for fraud. Russell Simmons is suing his ex-wife, Kimora Lee Simmons, for allegedly stealing stock shares to pay her husband, Tim Lesner's bail. In the complaint filed earlier this week and obtained by People, Simmons accused both Lee and Leisner of breach of contract, fraudulent concealment, and breach of confidential relations / constructive fraud, among other charges. Simmons alleges that he, Lee, and Leisner entered a business arrangement in 2016 when the now married couple joined his investment company, New Horizons. During their time working for New Horizons, the organization made considerable investments in the tens of millions of dollars range in energy fitness drink brand Celsius Holdings Incorporated, a publicly traded company. The suit continues to claim that when Leisner was arrested on separate money laundering charges in 2017, he and Lee conspired to use their stake in Celsius to fraudulently transfer almost 4 million Celsius shares to themselves. Awaiting his plea deal and sentencing, defendants Leisner and Lee, knowing full well that they would be required to pay tens of millions for bail and possibly victim compensation, conspired and effectuated an unlawful fraudulent scheme, the suit reads. Leisner pleaded guilty to criminal conspiracy to commit money laundering for the theft of billions of dollars from Malaysian Wealth Fund 1 MDB in 2018 in order to avoid jail time. He agreed to forfeit nearly $44 million. Reports.
That's a lot.
Yeah, that is a lot. Simmons is requesting a jury trial and asking Lee and Leisner to return the shares, as well as to pay money, punitive damages, and attorney costs. A representative for Lee told Daily Mail the designer was shocked by the extortive harassment coming from her ex. This is an ill-advised attempt by Russell to use the legal system to access funds he is in no way entitled to, and which is his own legal team confirms Russell did not pay for. The statement reads, Russell's continued aggressive behavior not only blatantly distorts the facts, but is simply a desperate PR ploy, ignoring the years of mental and emotional anguish, gaslighting, and ongoing harassment he has inflicted on Kimura. Russell will be held accountable for his serial abuse, and we will confront his baseless claims that he is warranted Celsius stock dividends despite his self-admitted zero contribution. So what this is sounding like is he's trying to sue them to get stuff that he actually really had no ownership of. And the defense in this case is basically just trying to say it's more of Russell Simmons being abusive to his ex-wife. So, I'd never really heard too much about how Russell Simmons was being abusive to Kimura. So, but, you know, I don't know. It would kind of make sense because a lot of your more influential and rich people like that tend to be more of that kind of person, I suppose. They are more of the, what's the word I'm looking for? I can't believe I'm pulling these blanks. Narcissist, yes. You're extremely successful and, you know, rich people like that tend to have a bit more of leaning towards being narcissistic because it takes being cutthroat to get to those kinds of positions. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So supposedly Russell Simmons has been accused of sexually assaulting multiple women in his time over like the last few years, and that's why his ex-wife is saying like the serial abuse. So
I mean, and I'm not really shocked about that either. With all these, especially when you're getting into the older people from the music industry and Hollywood, for that matter, there's a lot of stuff coming out that they're using their power and influence for them to be able to just do whatever they want to whoever they want. And which is where I was saying earlier, a lot of the people who have or who are in those positions and all that stuff, they tend to be on the narcissistic side of things because in order to get into those positions, more often than not, you have to be cutthroat and you have to be that kind of person, which is sad to say, but
it's true though.
Yep. So, but yeah. So Russell Simmons, you need to pull your head out your ass, dude. Going right along, we have I have a couple more shows. So, 7 new movies and TV shows on Netflix, Amazon Prime, and HBO Max, and more, or the best new TV shows and movies this weekend, May 21st. So that would be from last weekend. I think we'll do that one because I have actually watched a couple of these things that it's going to be talking about. So Netflix, the best new TV shows and movies this weekend. May 21st, this weekend, Netflix is bringing the second season of a mystery TV series, Zack Snyder's zombie heist movie, and season 3 of an animated show. This weekend, Netflix will welcome the second season of a mystery thriller TV series, a highly anticipated zombie movie, and season 3 of an animated TV show. The streaming wars continue to heat up as each platform steps its game up with original content, especially now that cinemas around the world are starting to reopen. However, Netflix has nothing to worry about as it still has a long list of original content to share, and it continues to add new content, licensed and original, every week, ensuring that its subscribers won't be left without something to watch. Last weekend, streaming giant added the crime movie Layer Cake and the superhero drama Slight, along with the French sci-fi movie Oxygen, season 4 of Castlevania, season 2 of Love, Death, and Robots, the drama miniseries Hailstone, and Joe Wright's thriller The Woman in the Window. This weekend, Netflix will add more licensed content than last week, with the thrillers The Last Days, Sabotage, and Small Town Crime. The documentary Hating Peter Tatchell, or Tatchell, comedy Spy Kids, All the Time in the World, and the concert Sam Smith Love Goes, live at Abbey Road Studios. So those are all stuff that they released the week before last. But here is, oh wait, do I have to do this tab thing, or can I just, no? Oh yeah, okay, so I can read it like this. All right. As for original content, Netflix will bring season 2 of a Mexican mystery TV series, Zack Snyder's zombie heist movie, and season 3 of Jurassic World animated TV show. Here are the best movies and TV shows coming to Netflix this weekend. So Who Killed Sarah, season 2. It's a Mexican mystery thriller, and it's now available to stream on Netflix this last weekend. The series follows Alex Guzman, who, after spending 18 years in prison for a crime he didn't commit, is determined to find out who killed his sister, Sarah. The more he digs into the case, the worse it all becomes, as he will get to know Sarah's true and terrible story and her relationship with the Lazcano family. And I have seen this one on Netflix. I just haven't watched it yet. It actually sounds like it might be interesting, so I might go ahead and check that one out. Have you heard of that one right there?
No, I haven't. I actually haven't been able to get on Netflix a whole lot.
Oh, that stinks. There's lots of good stuff popping up on Netflix recently. Like this next one right here, Army of the Dead. So this Zack Snyder's zombie heist movie, Army of the Dead, has arrived at Netflix, set after a zombie outbreak that left Las Vegas in ruins. Scott Ward, Dave Bautista, a former zombie war hero, is approached by casino boss Blythe Tanaka, who is Hiroyuki Sanada, with the ultimate proposition: break into the zombie-infested quarantine zone to retrieve $200 million sitting in a vault beneath the strip before the city is nuked by the government in just 32 hours. With little left to lose, Ward takes on the challenge, assembling a ragtag team of experts for the heist. With a ticking clock, a notoriously impenetrable vault, and a smarter, faster horde of alpha zombies closing in, only one thing is for certain: survivors take all. So this movie, I mean, its top billed person is Dave Bautista, and he's not an amazingly great actor, so there is that with it. But overall, I mean, if you just want a nice, gory zombie fest, I mean, it's pretty darn good movie for that. Through watching the movie, it kind of gave me a feel of like Grand Theft Auto, whereas, you know, the heist stuff that's in Grand Theft Auto Online right now, it kind of gave me the feel for that. They build their team and they go in and they have to try to steal the money. Like I said, it wasn't, you know, I'm not going to say it's a critically acclaimed, you know, top movie I've ever seen, but it's pretty good. And Hiroyuki Sanada, I don't know if you know who he is, but he was in, want to say he was in The Last Samurai. He's a Japanese actor, obviously, and he's in lots of martial arts type movies. He is often, he plays in a lot of martial arts movies, and I think Last Samurai is the first one I think of by him. Let me see. Hironaki. No. Okay, let me get back there. His name's not easy to spell. Hiroyuki Sanada. Hiroyuki, I said Naki. Y-U-K-I. Hiroyuki Sanada. There he is, Japanese actor. And IMDb, the ones he's most known for would be The Twilight Samurai, The Wolverine. He was in The Wolverine. He was in Sunshine. He was in the most recent Mortal Kombat. He was in Westworld, Manamata, Avengers Endgame, Catcher was a Spy. He was also in Life. Let me see. Oh, he was in Ronin, or 47 Ronin. He was in Lost? Oh, yes, he was in Lost. Okay. Let's see. Any other interesting ones? Twilight Samurai? Yeah, The Last Samurai. So, okay. Yeah, moving right along to that, back to that article. All right, so, but yeah, I would recommend the Army of the Dead. Have you heard of it or anything like that there?
Army of the Dead, the show, yeah, or
Yep.
the show.
It's a movie.
The movie, yeah, I watched it the other day. After I ate an edible, and I specifically remember like watching the movie and like looking over and being like, "This is so stupid."
So that's it. It is pretty stupid, but it's a hack and slash movie,
Yeah.
which I kind of find endearing. So
yeah, it was super gory. Like I was not expecting some of the things to happen. Like I think there was one part where the dude like, what was it? The one person got like grabbed by a zombie and they like turned her head all the way around.
yep,
And, like,
yeah.
just completely snapped her neck. That part blew me away. I was not expecting a lot of that to happen.
Yeah, they were standing in front of an elevator, and she had her back to the elevator, and the doors open, and one of the alphas was there, and it just like flipped her head backwards.
It was like one of those movies that was like, it's so terrible, it's good. And I think like when they were making it, they're like, you know what? We know this is going to be so bad, but let's just do it anyways.
Yeah,
and
let's
like,
just embrace it.
Yeah, and they did a good job about it.
Mm-hmm.
But it was still a terrible movie.
Yeah, I'm not going to deny that at all. I mean, overall, on paper, it's a horrible movie. But like I said, if you like hack and slash, gory, nasty, just kind of over the top, campy movies, this will work for you. You'll like it. So I watched it yesterday while we were babysitting my nieces. So, Jurassic World Camp Cretaceous season 3. My kids love that that series, that show. They watch it all the time. So I would say if you have kids, or even if you don't, and you like animated series, you probably will be into this one. And that's it. So I guess that's all of them. That's everything for this last week that's on Netflix. Apparently, there's 3 things. All right. So next, every Netflix original show canceled in 2021. So we already went over that a couple weeks ago. I have one more article that we can read. There's 7 minutes. Actually, we can go ahead and cut early on this because that other article is going to be a long one and just a little extra. But yeah. So with all that being said, do you have anything that you want to say there, Jay?
No, I'm good.
Sounds good. All right. Well, thank you all for watching. Make sure that you go to WO Entertainment on Facebook. Check out our set list. Also, if you enjoy watching this, we have another show coming up in about a half an hour. Shay may or may not be there. But that's one where we just talk about Florida Man and all kinds of other interesting, funny stories and news and all that stuff. So, yeah, if you enjoyed it, go ahead and come back and watch us there. Other than that, thank you for watching. We'll see you next week. Bye.